So, kind of a weird video because there's not enough light as usual. But I was playing with the tweeters. As you can see, this is kind of a different kind. Not as neat because I wound it by hand. But the thing is actually that oh fuck, I use actually again. This is mylar 12 micron and with a wire on there. And people usually think that a etched membrane like the one here is infinite better. Well, it looks better, that's for sure. It looks way better, but it doesn't, you know, this one performs a little bit better, but not as much as you think. And it has to do with several things. It uses 2 magnets less than this one, but also the kind of wire, the thickness of the foil, the amount of glue. There's a lot of stuff to gain, I think. But if you look at the frequency response, it's not that bad actually. I somehow managed to fuck up the tension on the foil, on that one, on the wire one. But let's see what the response is with a way lower resonance, which is not too good. Especially if you use wires, but let's see. If you look at Romy Q Wizard, then there's this weird notch here, which I'm not sure what it is. But overall, it's not too bad. It falls off a little bit earlier. So this is a tweeter only, etched. It looks a little bit better, especially the top end looks a little bit better. It's on axis. Distortion looks a tiny bit better, but it goes ballistic near resonance. And I don't have a one-on-one comparison actually, which is too bad. But this is the wire with the woofer actually, but again actually. But it has a problem here, and it falls off a little bit earlier. And this has to do with, well, tension on the foil, that's one, because with a etched membrane, tension is not as important to reach high as it is with using wires. Also, I use 12 micron foil mylar, and I added some glue, of course, to higher the wire, and I added glue to the wire, so it becomes a little bit more heavier, so it drops off earlier. Not that much, by what, just 1 or 2 dB. Not really critical, but also I used wire that is 0.1.7 millimeter diameter, but I could use 0.15 or something. But the only benefit from having wires is actually that you could use, again actually, you could use like, well, as many as you please. I mean, if you got a gap of 5 millimeters or more, almost 70 millimeters, you can cramp in a lot of wires. So this would be really nice if I could get my pancake coil winder thing. I'll show you right now what it does. But then, if it could make tighter corners, because that's a really nice circle, but my magnets are only 3 millimeter wide, and well, it goes, if you have like a, well, can we show it? Yeah, I can, I guess. It's a completely different thing, but so, is this visible? Yeah, so this wire here, although it's aluminum foil in this case, it goes here, and it is like next to the magnet, and then it goes down, and it's next to the next magnet. So this turn might be possible, but the next turn it goes here and then it goes whoop here. This turn here is never gonna happen the way I use this pancake coil winder right now. So if I could find, or I don't know, think of something that could manage to do that, I could cramp in so many wires, and it just have to be like tiny wires, more tinier than I use right now, and so the weight goes down. But still, you could put like things in parallel and whatever. These wires, the ones are sitting in the woofer right now, are I believe 1.9 ohms, which is like 0.5 ohms less than the etched version. Even when I didn't use as many magnets, so I didn't use as many turns. So I guess I would be in the ballpark if I used as many turns as the etched one. But you can go thinner, and then you can put like more wires in there. So if you double it up, if you double the wires, the amount of turns in the gap, you will add 3 dB, which is nice. Of course, it becomes like a lot. If you go from 4 to 8, that's possible, but from 8 to 16, that's it's gonna hurt the impedance. But yeah, let's play the same song as yesterday, but then with the wire version. Yeah, mic is not gonna be in the same position, so it probably is gonna sound different, but yeah, but still, you have an idea. Wires are not shitty from the get-go. I think even, you know, like the planar magnetic thingies, the big ones, the reason why the top end is not as good is purely because the magnetic field is like shitty and the magnets are quite deep. I think using etched foils is more of a gimmick or just fast production, not so much a benefit to begin with, but we'll see. Let's play a song. I'm not gonna play the same song, by the way, so it's not comparable at all, but you can think something about it. So this is the same dimension of things, blah 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 blah, except it has wires instead of an etched membrane, which looks far nicer, I agree, but I still believe that a wire can do the same. And in this case, I'm not sure if you can see this. Oh, I'm into the light. I'm in the light. The magnet here and there is not here. So normally I have a magnet here and there as well. So there's actually a little bit less wire that I use in the etched foil and less magnets as well. So it is a little bit less efficient, but it's not much. But anyhow, this is like done by hand, and I can assure you can do it way nicer, but I still think of a method to do it. But let's play a song, and I think it sounds a little bit more gentle, but if you look at the frequency response, it does the same, and distortion almost the same. Not quite there yet, but that's because I think, at least, it remains a guesstimation. The distance from wire to wire, the less it is, the better it is. That's why a foil works quite nice. But you can achieve the same with wires, I'm pretty sure, and it gives some benefits. Also some downsides. I mean, it's work. But here we go. It's again Petra Mogani, and it was Musica Nuda. Someone said, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but someone said, I love this stuff, and I was like, I have no clue what it is. But it's apparently the same. Well, And this is kind of a remixed thingy, You're the One I Want, and it's kind of weird, so bear with me.
On vous dit au revoir avec cette chanson, che è la dernière chanson, ma poi après il y a un heure di rappel, quindi per finta è la dernière chanson, e s'appelle Il cammello e il dromedario. Ho capito che sei stanco, ma il cammello e il dromedario.
Yes, the background noise.
Cammello e dromedario. I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control, 'cause the fire you're supplying is electrifying. You better shape up, 'cause I need a man, but my heart is set on you. You better shape up, you better understand. To my heart it must be true, nothing left for me to do. You're the one I want, you are the one I want. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Honey, you're the one I want, you are the one I want. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Honey, you're the one I want, you are the one I want. Ooh, ooh. E ora ci arrivo, E la fammi pensare a una cosa triste, aspetta, continua. Non so, mi devi fare l'italiano vero, perché? Perché devi fare gris, ma pourquoi?
Ow!
Tu n'es pas normal.
Vogliamo fare il cammello e il dromedario? Il cammello e il dromedario, per piacere.
The reason why it looks so crappy is, in fact, there is this this wet towel thingy where you can clean toilets with and such. It's behind the membrane, that's why it looks so white. It's kind of felt kind of stuff, and it's really, well, if you want to damp a membrane, it's the best to do it as close to the membrane as possible. So behind the magnets works, but if you can damp it, well, in between, that will be better. But it also limits the excursion because it's in the way. So I did this with this one, but I fucked up here. It is really fluffy, so I burned away the fluff, but I managed to burn away a piece of this stuff. So that's why it looks like there's a hole here, which is not the case. It's only the felt. Yeah, well, this thing looks shit anyways. I mean, I won't lie. It looks like shit, but it does the same as the fancy looking one, which is kind of funny. Almost the same. Not completely, but yeah. Let's do another song just for fun and giggles. And then I go to the toilet because I'm kind of sick. That sounds terrible, but it's just, some stomach stuff. Ne me quitte pas. It's funny that I listen to a lot of chanson stuff, so I thought it was funny to see this song in Italian, I guess. And also, the whole lyrics are in Italian. So this song is like in every fucking language you can think of.
Non andare via, puoi dimenticare tutto
Stefano,
quello
eat
che
your heart out.
se n'è andato già. Puoi dimenticare tutto il tempo che è passato già. Non esiste più. Tutti i malintesi e tutti i perché che uccideva in noi la felicità. Non andare via, non andare via, non andare via. Io ti offrirò perle di pioggia venute da dove non piove mai. Aprirò la terra giù fino nel fondo per coprirti d'oro e di luce, e ti porterò dove non c'è più quello che tu cerchi e quel che tu vuoi. Non andare via, non andare via, non andare via.
Look at my professional setup.
Non
There's my
andare
phone.
via, per te inventerò
It's on
le
gaffer tape
parole
and almost
pazze che
falls
tu
down.
capirai,
I
e ti
hope it
parlerò di due amanti che per 2 volte già hanno visto il fuoco. Ti racconterò la storia di un re morto perché non ti ha visto mai. Non andare via, non andare via, non andare via. Nel vulcano spento che credevi morto, molte volte il fuoco è rinato ancora, ed il fuoco brucia tutto quanto intorno e non riconosce niente e nessuno. E quando la sera se c'è fuoco in cielo, il rosso ed il nero non hanno confine. Non andare via, non andare via, non andare via, non andare via. Io non parlo più, io non piango più, mi nasconderò, io ti guarderò mentre ballerai e ti ascolterò mentre riderai. Sarò solo l'ombra della tua ombra, della tua mano, l'ombra del tuo cane. Non andare via, non andare via, non andare via.
I Follow Your Trail by Sean. I don't know.
I didn't know I was looking for you. I didn't know there was something to find. Tomorrow you won't fit in yesterday's shoes, and I'm trying so hard to rewind. You came to me as an empty cup. I didn't know love could ever be real. And every day I tried to fill you up with everything that I thought you would feel. Through the years, the sorrow, the joy that we borrow, the tears that we share with the rain. Oh, today, tomorrow, forever I'll follow your trail. Just call my name.
You see the clip, it doesn't correspond to what you hear at all. He's in a wood and it sounds like a studio, like big time.
And I was there when you took your first step into a world that was wide as the sky.
Nah, it's not working for me.
I held your belly there against my chest. I was there when you needed to cry. I never knew a friend could be so small and have a heart just as big as the moon. You know I can't stop you from growing up. I just wish that it wasn't so soon. Through the years, the sorrow, the joy that we borrow, the tears that we share with the rain. Oh, today, tomorrow, forever I'll follow your trail. Just call my name.
Well, anyhow, yeah, so this is wire on a foil, and it almost does the same as an etch membrane that is really fancy. So, well, you can make this yourself. You don't need a printer, you don't need don't need fancy software, you can make this crap yourself. That's the bottom line. Oh, and also, I might get my first Patreon, and I wish it would be a little bit more of those. So if you're interested and you want to support my channel with crappy stuff like this, and hopefully I can buy a normal lighting fixture, or a light in general and not my phone, please subscribe and, well, subscribe to the Patreon if you want. Everything is welcome. I mean, yeah, it's not like insane expensive, but I'm putting all my money into stuff that I don't actually need because I just think it's fun and, well, I like to share. So, well, see you next time.